Welcome, these will be my thoughts on The Walking Dead Season 5 Episode 9, What Happened and What's Going On. The episode is rated TVMA, so will this video be. There will be spoilers for the episode and all the ones leading up to it, all of which I love. Let's dive right in. So, they had to take another one away from us. Yeah, so I did really appreciate the way that the episode gives weight to Tyrese's death. It takes up a decent chunk of the episode, and it starts fairly early in the episode. I think maybe half the episode is left when he starts dying. And yeah, let's see. I think that's it for the general stuff. So, scene by scene. Yeah, the first little bit of episode was very effective because we can see someone is being buried, so we know, the weight of that hangs over the episode up until Tyrese is bitten. And let's see, yeah, I thought it worked well, this thing of, they're gonna try to go to where Noah came from, and Rick tells Glenn it's for Beth. She so badly wanted Noah to go home. And let's see, we have which I do think is a great, it's that thing of, an important part of grieving is to kind of find out, it's not always what would the person have wanted, because that can also end up toxic. You end up really not living your life to the fullest, which, is that what they would have wanted if but yeah, sometimes it's not. Yeah, I don't know. I'm struggling to find the words, but it is important to, so I appreciate them showing that in this episode. And let's see, we have um, yeah, we see them traveling, and Rick goes, "Are we there yet?" And they test out the radio. Very good thinking. And yeah, they end up getting to the place and, approaching on foot. A clever thing about hiding the car, making it look like it's just part of, oh, the car broke down at this spot, so, don't anybody steal it. There's nothing. It definitely doesn't work. It has a full tank of gas or anything. And yeah, they approach and pretty quickly realize, that let's see. First, Noah goes up to and makes some noise at the gate, and yeah, there's no response. And looking over, I appreciate that we don't see immediately. Just, he looks, and it's like, and looks down. Sorry, Jesus. And Noah proves to be very agile, very fast runner for his yeah. I mean, he does still have the limp, but yeah, that's adrenaline for you. And yeah, they get in there, they start going, yeah, um, yeah, um, you have the thing where, yeah, she's like, we have to go fucking where? And I really appreciated the discussion about it, and there's the thing about, well, we can't, like, there's no lookout, no walls. We'll fell the trees. We'll build a wall, keep out, innocent people with families and such, so that way we won't even have to have an ICE equivalent. You know, it's actually not everybody knows this, but ICE is an acronym. It stands for Incompetent Conservative Evil. Well, it used to, and then it became clear, okay, I mean, if you're joining ICE at this point, you are definitely conservative. So then they changed it to Incontinent Cowardly Evil, which is appropriate. It takes a special level of incompetent to tear gas yourself. That's a Yeah, holy shit. Their training is in the toilet, but I mean, that was, there were people pointing that out as soon as we heard about, oh yeah, their training is gonna be much faster because they really can't turn anyone away anymore if they want to actually increase their numbers the way that was decreed. Not a huge surprise that young Republicans would be unbelievably racist. I wish I was surprised that J.D. Vance is defending them or lying to do so, claiming, like they're between ages 18 and 40. A number of them are in their 30s. They're not kids. And he's more upset that it got leaked because this is the effect Trump is having. Never admit fault, always attack. The Roy Cohn, I want to say, was his mentor. But yeah, I do definitely agree that they should resign. If they refuse to resign, they should be fired and barred from any kind of work within politics. Let's see. I feel like there was at least one more thing I wanted to say. Yeah, no kings. God damn. What a turnout. Yeah, I feel like it's pretty clear that like the country couldn't be saying fuck Trump in a much louder voice than it is. Did see one conservative post on social media that it's it's fascism that there are people protesting because he was voted in. Like, yeah, I saw someone comment on it. You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. Anyway, that was a digression. Yeah, I did really appreciate that. Yeah, by the end, she has to admit, okay, this is not going to work. Uh, yeah, god damn it. So Noah has to see about his own house. So, runs there, and Tyrese is like, okay, we'll check, but you gotta let me go first. And as usual, just such fantastic set design. I'm pretty sure that's Noah's mom on sorry, that is Noah's mom on the floor. God damn it. Fucking conservatives have me, yeah, expressing less confidently what I obviously know to be true because not every conservative, but conservative talking heads and politicians lie about anything that will give them an edge. Anyway, yeah, she's there on the floor, and you've got like part of the head missing, and that's of course why she's not currently a zombie. And he covers her, and I appreciated the sort of tenderness of the gesture. It's not there's not much more he can do for her, but that feels appropriate. Um, yeah, and Tyrese goes around checking the house, makes a mental note of the zombie in the bathroom, which I guess might be the one that's attacking him not long after. Not the adult one. I'm pretty sure the kid was already in the kid's room. But yeah, he goes up and he looks at the photos, the ones that we saw at the start also, and just yeah, it's another example of the show, underlining, hey, sometimes you can't have a human moment in the zombie apocalypse. He his situational awareness kind of sucks, dude. At least they are, not always. And yeah, he's attacked. Noah's brother. Just, god damn it. 2 episodes in a row. Were they trying to like distract from as mentioned in my video on the episode before this one, people were understandably pissed that Beth was leaving the show. Maybe this episode was them trying to distract from the shitstorm that started, but yeah. And pretty quickly Noah becomes aware and runs to get Rick and the others. The radio, that's the Rwandan genocide, isn't it? I mean, I don't think I'm the right person to talk about, because so basically what's happening is it's sort of, because the words that are, the way it's said, the stuff that's said on the radio, it's very specifically stuff that could apply both to that and to the zombie apocalypse. So yeah, I am not qualified to comment on if that is an okay comparison to make. I'll just note that according to IMDb Trivia, that's Andrew Lincoln, who plays Rick. That's him on the radio talking in his natural accent. And let's see. I did think it was effective, the way that we would hear the radio. And yeah, let's see. I think, for example, the fact that he asks them to turn it off there at the end. He's ready to die. He's accepting his death, essentially. Yeah, I think, let's see. Yeah, I also like the discussion about whether or not it matters, killing Dawn, and several of them say they wanted to do it. Yeah, it is, again, I appreciate seeing them process how they feel about these traumatic events. That's such an important thing when you experience things like this. Yeah, I think that brings us back to... So, yeah, Tyrese on the floor, and I think he has a name, but I'm gonna call him Asshole, because he's being a ginormous asshole. And of course, I appreciate, he's representing part of Tyrese's mind, where his head's at. Where his head's at. Yeah, he's thinking, maybe this wouldn't have gone this way if I had just killed Asshole. Wiped out Asshole. And Bob appears to say, nope, this was how it was always going to be. And Governor shows up because one asshole doesn't shit alone. Assholes love company. That's if I was trying to remember, first thing that came to mind was the Danish version of that, and that does not translate directly. So yeah, he's still doing such a great job. Yeah, and the part where he comes right at Tyrese and then morphs into a zombie. Jesus Christ. I gotta say, I'm really loving the way this show uses like hallucinations and such. Like people will see just this, yeah, the way that it can explore how they're seeing certain things. One of the, I guess the very first example actually was that the end of episode 2, maybe back in season 1, the when Merle was imagining that the zombies were coming through, and yeah, I think the I did also think they did a really good job of, when she's talking about like, well, we can fell the trees, like I on the one hand, I feel like it sounds like, what if you're attacked before the, but on the other hand, I can kind of see what she means. And it's not like they've, it's not like they've never had to do some work for a place to be safe. Yeah. I noticed that there was something about wolves written. I swear I'm not going to try to deduce exactly what that means, but I don't know. I feel like there's something there, some hint for something coming up. The show's really good at that. Like when we first heard about Terminus on the radio, I had no idea that it was going where it ended up. But yeah, Tyrese is attacked. And, struggles to fight it off. Love the couple of POV shots where, like, there's at least one where, like, the zombie mouth is, like, biting right up against the camera lens. So, like, it felt so vivid. Like, it feels like there is a zombie right in front of us. So it's really, really cool thing there. Yeah, he tries to fight it off. Hammer drops, and ultimately, like, he in order to be able to fight it off, he hands off his arm to it, Now, 9 out of 10 zombie experts would tell you, do not use that move unless you've already been bit. The 10th of the experts was bit and is a zombie, so he's not thinking rationally. He just voted for Trump again. Multiple times, in fact, which Republicans didn't seem to mind. Anyway, then we have the... but yeah, he... And the zombie falls over and then, drips a bunch of blood onto the framed, picture of the house, which, like, such a great image, and I really appreciate them putting that there at the start as well. So, like, we had a bad feeling that it wasn't going to work out to go to Noah's, but yeah. I think that pretty well brings us to the great when Noah, trying to help, ends up being cornered by some of the walkers and having to go for help for two different things at once. And Tyrese, I really appreciated the thing about, you said you would do anything, but you had no idea, did you? I showed you. And Tyrese asserts, you didn't show me anything. And that again is like, yeah, he's resolving these, because, like, obviously it was on his mind. He felt bad about joining the governor. I mean, obviously Rick sent them away, so there was not that much before joining the governor. I mean, but even so, like, he feels like he, like, a lot of people, when they're tricked by someone, they feel, they find themselves thinking, am I a fool? And yeah, I really appreciate him saying, no, that's, you fooled me, but you didn't show me anything. Fool me twice, can't get fooled again. And then he starts imagining, let's see, Nika and her sister, and they're talking about it's better this way, like trying to, like, they're the part of his brain that's trying to embrace death. And yeah, goddamn, that was and then to top it off, Beth. After the Beth death, I wasn't expecting to see her again so soon, but maybe this is them trying to ease us into that being, they really did. I might not have more chances to say for in a spoiler video, at least on this show. They really did an amazing job finding and casting someone who could both act and sing. And she sings one more time. And yeah, it's very, very bittersweet seeing her. And they do, I love the bit where, the arm, he's like, let's see, one of, shit, I forget who, someone like, takes his hand, and it feels like, oh, they're taking him into the afterlife, and then we see, oh, there's again a real world equivalent in the show. I mean, and they're holding his arm out so they can cut it off, which it worked with Herschel, but this time there's eh, perhaps been a little too long, um, yeah, and they get him out to the near the gate. They open the gate, kill the walkers. I feel a little bad for Noah because like Rick is like, you can hold him, right? Can you hold him up? And it's like, probably not. I mean, I'm sorry, but like, given I you know Noah doesn't look like he has enough, like, what's it called, like body mass to really fully support on his own um Tyrese's weight. um to be clear, I'm not calling Tyrese fat or anything, but just like, you know yeah, he but so it's understandable that Noah is not able to hold him up. And that's also just a great little, you know, sort of microcosm. Like they're struggling to support him, to yeah, um, they can't save him. It's that. Yeah. Um, and he hallucinates them again in the car and asks, the radio turned off, and they're like, are you sure? That was, I also really appreciated the thing about, we hear, his father raised him to, him and his sister, had to be good citizens of the world. They have to know about what's going on out there so they can help. And so his father listened to stuff that was horrifying, to know. And I mean, I could see, the Rwandan genocide could be one of those. Yeah. Let's see. But, based on like age, because I could see he might have been like a teenager when that happened. Tyrese, I mean, let's see. I think that does pretty well cover what I have for this episode. Yeah, I did really appreciate, them going to Washington. That is now the goal, but it's not, um, like they don't immediately jump to that. They consider other options. And I really, the thing about, this is just surviving. We have to live. We have to have more than this. Yeah, I think, um, yeah, that pretty well gets us to the, let's see. I feel like there's one more thing that I really wanted to say. Yeah, I like when they talk about, Washington. Eugene talked about Washington. He was lying. He was lying about the cure, but, he was talking about Washington. But he was lying, so yeah, because it is like, on the one hand, he was lying about some, it's one of those things, for some people, once they start lying, they can't really stop. So some of the time it's lying to cover up for other lies. But on the other hand, he picked Washington specifically. He didn't. He could have picked other places to say that the cure was there. the funeral was very moving. And the dirt spreading, the shovel. Um, yeah, I think that might. I love that there's no music over the end credits, just the sound of Rick shoveling. And yeah, I think that might more or less cover. Yeah, I did quite like the part where they yeah, the attempting to get the car started, and at first it won't start, and then he crashes into um the truck, um and a bunch of because we know if you don't destroy the brain, um the zombie is still alive. So yeah, a bunch of not quite killed zombies do fall out and land on the hood, I think it's called. That was very cool. um yeah, I mean, obviously I don't think it's very fun for the zombies themselves. They're all torn up about it.